Well, good afternoon. This is, I should make a new playlist for this. This is Mysteries on the Rooftop with Byron. So we have a wood burning stove with air issues. It has never worked properly since the day it was installed. So we're gonna go up top here, give you a little bit of the lay of the land and talk to the customer and see what's happening. So now we're inside. Hi.
Hi.
And you're Cindy.
I am.
All right, and Cindy, let's give a little room to the camera here. How long have you had this stove? You had a stove before.
Yes.
And you knew how to use it, and you used it for years.
Years and years. I bought this home in 2004.
And then you had a vendor out install this new stove that has this catalytic combustor.
Yes.
The ooh la la. And now we've got smoke, and we're going to pan up.
Yes.
And there's smoke all over the house. Yeah.
But the stove before that also started having smoke.
Oh, so we have a mystery here. Okay, a little bit. So it's not just the new stove.
It's not just the new stove.
Okay,
This
we're
new
going to
stove
take a
was
look.
purchased because thinking it would solve the
Solve
problem.
the issue. Okay, very good. Thank you, Cindy. We're going to keep investigating.
All right.
All right, so it's a basic single-story ranch style. We are on the top of a two-story, and so we're going to look back here. We've got a fresh air kit. That's 3-inch. That's what's specified. But you know, on my last YouTube video where I discovered the wrong adapter was used down here, we may need to, we'll double check their work down here and make sure the correct adapter is used, and that's correctly introducing all the air to the inside. And then we'll go over operation and probably build a fire too. Up on the roof, looks like metal fab chimney. My guy's already been in the attic. I'll insert a couple pictures here in a minute. Got a metal fab. We got a 36-inch length up top, and I think we got probably a 4-footer that goes down through the roof. Now, one of the things I notice here is the two storm colors. And what they've done is taken a roof flashing from another roof cone, and they just hacked away at it with a grinder. And looks like they put a little silicone there up underneath. And it's probably not leaking. This is fine because it's going to be outside. It's getting close to the end of its life. Not sure why they didn't put a new flashing on when they were hired to put a whole new stove system on. Coming down, looking at the roof bracing. Got some nice screws. They got silicone underneath. Looks really good. Roof brace. They only rely on the friction of the screw, which is not good. I believe you should put a Tech screw through here where the two layers of metal meet, because you don't want those slipping, and these things are a little bit notorious, metal fab, for slipping. So we'll take this thing apart, look down inside, see how dirty this chimney is. So up top, I mean, new material, this looks good, but there must be a lurking thing somewhere in this house. Okay, I've taken the chimney pipe off, and this is the bottom of the 3-footer. Looks like they've got some smoke leaking at the joint, which is very unusual, because joints should not leak smoke out unless the cap is clogged. So we shouldn't be seeing smoke here trying to escape. We should be seeing fresh air sucking in, trying to come down, or trying to come into the pipe. Okay, we're going in. We're gonna start taking this thing apart, working it open so we can thoroughly inspect what's going on down in the attic. All right, well, as you notice here, they've got a top part of a roof flashing they've cut down to put over the old one instead of replacing this one. What we normally would do is strike this with a hammer when we're doing a rip and replace, and leave this flashing in place if we're worried about getting under the shingles and causing a lot of issues. And then we will have a nice flat surface through which our pipe will run, and then we will work the shingles up appropriately, get our flashing under this row right here, and tuck it. But you'll need a 612 flashing on this, and now I know why they did this, because they had a 212 to 512 instead of the proper 612 probably on site. Now we take a look. It's hard to do one-handed. Okay, lift it up. Oh, okay, there we go. So we've gotten they trimmed one side of the boot to make allowance for this. They've secured the joint with a screw there, so it'll be a little bit hard to take out. And I see some wood framing down there. Looks like it's far enough away, so that's good. Yeah, there's our decking material. All right, now we're gonna loosen this up, see if we can get it off. it doesn't always go according to plan. And now it's open. See what we look like down inside. Looks like I knocked off the attic insulation shield, so a very good sign that they had that in place. Looks like I knocked down a bunch of the loose fill insulation into the decorative support box, and looks like they're right up against that truss, so that's okay. Well, we'll keep digging. Neil Diamond had a song, Up on the Roof. This is up in the attic. All right, here we have a metal fab attic insulation shield. And the reason I was kind of wondering why the foam when this is sitting on top of this metal fab ceiling support. Oh, wait, it's not a metal fab ceiling support box. It is a Security Chimneys International ceiling support box. Holy cow, look at the size of that screw. Got a little bit of my insulation on there. Now, functionally, the guy's got it pretty tight. That's not a hole there on the right. That's just the shadow effect of the camera. But this thing, that's sucking air. See how there's no soot right there? Soot does not stick where air flows. So you see there's soot above the joint, soot below the corrugated joint. There's no soot on that area, real shiny. So that means probably sucking air. And that's a giant screw. A little more shiny material on this side. Wow, that's actually a pretty substantial gap there, isn't it? Or might be. So what I'm thinking here is this a good time to talk about UL listings and how you're supposed to use the same brand product with the same brand product. Now I get it. Everybody wants to go home. It's 5 o'clock. Everybody wants to go home. But the right thing to do is to go back to your fireplace store, get the correct part, and follow the rule of brand continuity. Now, I get it. Everybody wants to go home at 3 o'clock, you know, pack up the tools, head out of the house. But when you get to one of these jobs like this, you need to go back to the shop and get the rule of brand uniformity met. The rule of brand uniformity is a rule I made up years ago to represent that when you start, sorry, this attic insulation, the rule of brand uniformity says that when you start with brand A, you must complete with brand A. You cannot go from brand A to brand B on a chimney system. However, connector pipe can be brand A and chimney pipe can be brand B. But once you're in either connector or chimney family, you have to stay with that family. And that's written right in the instruction manual. So that's not up to me. That's not my rule. That's just a way for you and I as technicians in the field to remember how to do the job properly. So if you're connecting chimney pipe together and you're short 3 feet, you can't swap brands. You got to wait special order for that part to come in. That's the right thing to do. And what my mom and dad always told me is do the right thing when nobody's looking. Now, does this gap down here represent the problem? I'm not sure, but I see poor quality of work. I see lack of quality craftsmanship, lack of dedication to the trade. But they're fairly tight joints down there. So we're going to continue because we've met our clearance to combustibles going through the wood framing. So we've got our 2-inch clearance, which this brand requires. But we still aren't yet at the bottom of the issue. So now behind the stove, we look at the fresh air kit. It's got a 3-inch tube. We go below. It was used, it had a one of these style right here, a band connector. Looks like it's been crushed a bit. The outside air kit is clear all the way to the outside. Okay, now we're going to light a fire here. We're going to use at least this much wood, and it's about the size of a person's forearm, and I've got 6 pieces. And we're going to put it in here on a little bed of, we've already got a little bit of pine branches, a little bit of paper, and this is just above the ash clean out there. Inside we seem clean and clear. No other super obvious issues why the stove is misbehaving. So we're going to assume that we need to get some heat on it and give it a try. In summary, I think this wood stove is almost correctly installed, except for the major blunder of having the main joint between the connector pipe and the chimney system have the wrong brand. They reused an old brand, which led to several more joints that were unnecessary right at the ceiling support box area. By the way, between the time we filmed this and this final summary I'm filming now, a fireman from the local area came into our fireplace store, and I said, hey, tell me a story, and just tell me any kind of story about a structure fire that relates to a fireplace or chimney. And he turned around without hesitating, and he pointed up in our showroom to the ceiling support box of a freestanding wood stove, and he said, right there, what do you call that box? I said, that's a ceiling support box. And he said, that's where most of the fires start that I see. So there you have it from an unbiased third party, a fireman. Ceiling support boxes are where fires start because technicians are not taking the time to go back to the shop to get the right parts, do the right thing when nobody's looking, and you'll sleep better at night. It's the long road. It's a chess game and a checkers world, but it's the right way to live. You'll sleep better. I'll sleep better. Just knowing we took the time to go back, just do the install the right way. And this poor lady's going to have to pay it all over again to do this install over again. And I think that's what's led to the smoking in the room is those bad joints led to the cooling of the exhaust, which leads to rapid creosote formation on the spark arrestor, which leads to a clog cap, which leads to back pressure, which means those joints run backwards. They were sucking air. Remember I showed you that? Now they're going to start letting that smoke into the room, trying to find a pressure relief valve, essentially. And I think that is the cause of the smoke that has increased since she put this new unit in. That is a new formation. So she had some smoking, put the new stove in, and now it's really smoking, and she stopped using it for 2 years. There you have it, folks. Hope you learned something. All the best. Byron on the rooftop.